He's a heart surgeon. He's a comedian. He is a spokesperson. He's an amazing human being. You may have recently seen him on a Piers Morgan show. The world's watching him, and I am so honored to have him in our studios. Virgin Radio, the Kris Fade Show, the one, the only, the iconic Bassem Youssef. Thank you so much for coming in.
Where do we go from here? Like, I mean, you have inflated my ego to be like bigger than this room. I don't know. I guess I'm done. My ego is fed. I am good for the day.
Yalla.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you having me. This is better than therapy. People love me, mommy.
Hey, if this was the interview, I'd be happy. I'd say, yalla, he goes. I'm still happy. I'm pleased with it. No, honestly, like, you know, you've always done what you've done, and you've always had a great following, and I'm just so proud. I'm an Arab. Right,
yeah, which I didn't know.
I just walked downstairs and got you from the car.
I know that Kris Fade was sending him his assistant or his butler or whatever, you know, his driver. And it's I've always, I lived here in Dubai for a year and a half. I always come to Dubai. I come to Dubai 3-4 times a year. I drive the car and listen to it's always Virgin Radio. Kris Fade. You're my favorite, you know. Oh. But I always hear like this like thick Aussie accent, and like Aussie accent or Aussie. How do you call it?
Aussie. Yeah.
It sounds like Aussie. Sounds like Uzi. So, and it sounds like, all right, this like white Australian dude like in my ear, and I never looked him up. I've never looked at your website. I've never seen your picture, and it's like, hi, I'm Kris. It's like, what?
Yeah, you're like, what?
It's like I'm Arab and Lebanese and from. It's like, what? I've been in the dark all my life, and I feel so stupid now.
Not at all, mate. Dude. I'm so glad that we finally got to meet. Thank you for listening over the year and a half that you were here as well. Thank you for doing what you've been doing. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about you. We've got you for a while here, so you're doing a bit of a takeover of the Kris Fade Show. And if anyone wants to take over this show, Bassem Youssef. Wow, what an absolute honor. Let's talk about has much changed since the interview? Like, has life changed dramatically, or has it just pivoted slightly?
Well, definitely it gave me a lot of exposure, and the thing is, I mean, I have been through similar situation before, and like 13 years ago when I had this kind of meteoric rise in in Egypt, but it was mostly it was regional and on international level, people who listen to or watch Jon Stewart's show. But this was kind of like.
No one had been doing this from the Middle East. Yeah. The way that you did it with the show. Let me try to say this.
Al-Barnamig, yeah.
Okay.
So I've been to kind of a similar thing 13 years ago, and I'm telling you, like, as much as I appreciate it, but it's scary. This kind of like ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, because after what happened to me with my show and I had to leave, I went through kind of like for a lot of people I went dark, but I wasn't. I was actually working on my stand-up comedy. I was working on my craft, doing stand-up comedy in my second language, and then doing Arabic shows, and I just was doing my thing. So when this happened, I was already doing my show. So when people come to my show now thinking that it's gonna be like kind of a reiteration about the Piers Morgan show, I never even mention it.
Yeah,
I have my show; it's done. It's like, well, I've been working. You guys just showed late.
I've been here the whole time, guys.
I've been here the whole time. I've been doing my stuff. So I appreciate that, because think about it: is if the Piers Morgan show bump happened 3-4 years ago, and then people come to my show, they'll be very disappointed because I wasn't good, because I was starting something, because I sucked for the 2-3-4 years in the beginning doing only in the last year and a half my stand-up comedy improved, because to reinvent yourself again and doing it in a second language in a country that's not yours, for an audience that's not yours. I mean, at 3-4 years, it was terrible, and then it's kind of like it seemed that people came when the time was right.
You set yourself a big challenge there. Obviously, how long does it take to become a heart surgeon?
Well, 7 years of medical school, 3 years of residency, so 10 years, and then I continued doing it for another 9.
Okay, so you went through the 19 years or so. The change, man. How does someone give that up? Did you not?
I never liked it.
Well, I was going to say.
For 19 years, I was held as a hostage.
I love that.
By the way, I did all of my USMLE exams and all of my RCS, the Royal College of Surgeons in England. I was qualified. On paper, I was a good doctor, but here's the thing. I was a heart surgeon, but my heart wasn't in it.
Wow.
You
That
like that?
You
like
save
that?
lives.
You like
I
that?
liked it.
Yeah,
But you
well,
save lives.
Save lives, whatever. Yes, lives are overrated.
Can you look at someone?
Bassem,
Humans are overrated. Okay.
you give it up. You now get into comedy. And then also you're now living in LA.
Yeah, babe.
And as you said, you are learning. I mean, how good was your English 10 years ago?
My English was fair, was good. I mean, even before I went to the United States, I appeared on Jon Stewart. I appeared on many shows. Conversation-wise, it's okay.
But doing stand-up,
it's
a different story.
It's even difficult for people like who speak English natively. The performance. And so, for example, I would, write a bit, right?
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, and the bit was okay, was good, but the delivery, the cadence, the rhythm, because each language, each dialect has its own rhythm and delivery and pace. Mm-hmm. And if you mess up any of these elements, the joke is going to fall flat. And sometimes I'm not as fast on my feet as Arabic because it's my native language. So it's not just about the language. It's about the nuances and the references and the beat and the rhythm and when to pause, how to pause in the joke, how to kind of punch, how to throw the punchline. All of these are elements that you have to learn. Stand-up comedy is a third language. So I was actually learning two languages at the same time. And in the beginning, I sucked big time. And then I got better. And then so you have some bad nights. That's the thing about live comedy. It's scary.
Walking the street. Hold on. You walking the streets. I mean, I just went downstairs now to get a cup of coffee with you.
Yeah.
It was like a magnet. You're the magnet.
Yeah, 3 people showed up.
Yeah, there were
3 people wanted to have a picture. Oh my God, 3 people.
There were 3 people in the place, and that's where I was
100%,
realized.
man.
So, are you okay with it? Are you? Is the fame the new, I guess, global fame? Because you sold out some shows in Sydney.
Yeah.
Right, and Sydney's down the other end of the world. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Right, and to see the stadiums and the arenas that you were selling out, I got goosebumps. I thought to myself, this is beautiful. Is this fame? Is it okay with you?
Well, here's the thing about fame. Fame can go both ways. I would say fame can either poison your life.
Yeah.
It's toxic. It's toxic. Or you can deal with fame as something that is temporary and that does not define you. So when I had my initial fame 13 years ago, I would be very I was kind of be surprised why people come and take pictures with me. This is not normal. This kind of infatuation and love, this is not normal.
Sure.
And for some reason I had to kind of play it along because if that makes them happy, I will do it. But in deep inside, it's I do not feel I deserve that. And when I was 13 years ago, when I was on top of the fame, I always thought it's when this will end, because this is not normal. That is not normal. That is this infatuation, these people taking pictures. That's not normal. Now it's happening again in even a bigger scale. So now I'm kind of I went through that again, but again I know the whole thing. It's toxic. It's nothing stays forever, and I'm wondering when this will end. So kind of I'm waiting for the downfall. I know it's a very pessimistic way to look at things, but it keeps you grounded. Because again, it is not normal, and I a lot of people come. Sometimes I go here in Dubai, and outings with Dubai. So if I'm there for 3 hours, it's 2.5 hours. I'm taking pictures with people, and the owners of the place, want to kind of do Dubai style. So they put bodyguards on the table. I said, guys, no, don't do that. Whoever I'm gonna take pictures with the whole place. I don't care, because whoever is gonna come to take a picture with you, he doesn't see the 150 people ahead of you, ahead of him. He sees this moment, this second. He doesn't see that you're being sending up and down for the past 2 hours. He come to his picture. So, and it is very easy to turn a fan into a hater, because he has all of these hopes and all of these he's just so excited to see you. And then if it takes 1 second to even grimace or show that you're not, it's too much or whatever, to kind of turn him off, and that's not fair. And you think about it. we are very privileged. This is a privilege. When those people want to come and take pictures with you, this is a privilege. This is something that you should appreciate. And if I have to kind of like give up some of my time to take pictures with people, so be it. I mean, how many people can say they have this kind of life? Even if it was like disturbing or distracting or not, that's fine. I mean, if that makes them happy, let's do it. But like deep inside, this is not normal. This is not normal. When is it gonna last? It's gonna last,
But having that perspective on life, I think, is so important to understand that it can stop at any moment.
Oh yeah,
we've been doing
and flip,
and
flip
and go the other way
because,
real quickly.
because you know what? Here's the thing: human emotions are the most valuable, precious, and volatile commodity. Where I always say this everywhere. I said like, you go to the doctor because you need them. You go to a plumber because you need them. But you go to you buy a jersey, a basketball jersey, like $70 for LeBron James. You don't need that, but you want it. You go to a comedy show. You want to go to a concert. You want it. You would pay as much little money for water or food because you need it, but like for some illegal stuff, you would pay everything because you want it.
Sure.
So the want is much more. It's kind of like it's people would do anything for something that they want, but the thing is, with that kind of love and kind of like want, it can flip any moment. So that kind of emotion can flip. So you love a football player, Mo Salah, we love you. He misses a penalty kick. Oh, you son of it's a moment, it's a flip. So all of this like emotions and volatile can turn into a second into the opposite side, and love could turn into like extreme love can turn to extreme hate.
Does it give you anxiety?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time. Like every time you go up and you say, all right, this is it. If I mess this up, my career is over. If this is a bad show, I'm done. You always feel that you're because this is kind of like feeling of undeserving the whole time, that you don't deserve to be there. Because I've been a doctor all of my life. I've never trained. I didn't go to school to that. I didn't put that much time into it like other people. And I say like, why do I get this? Why am I in that position? That doesn't add up.
When you did,
I know imposter syndrome, big time. I know,
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome, like on steroids. Yes.
Exactly.
well, I hope as you walk the streets and people understand and people come up to you and they take photos that you have made a huge difference, especially in the last few months for many. You were a voice, and
I hate that.
Well, mate, you were. You can hate it. You can hate it all you want. But you can hate it all you want.
But it's the pressure. It's the expectation.
But you're an educator. You're an educator as well for people.
That's that. Because again, that I felt that I said people told me this again before in Egypt. Oh, you're a voice. And at a certain point you can't, because for safety and whatever. And then suddenly you are a voice turned into you're a coward. You're a sellout, because you cannot maintain that. You cannot carry the failure of everything, and because at the end of the day, comedians do their job, which is making fun of stuff.
Sure.
So when people say the failures of people in the media, they go to comedians not because we're better, because we're better at our job. We make fun of stuff.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to actually do changes, because you cannot do it. It's bigger than you.
Yeah, but when I say you're a voice, I think one word that comes to me, and I think a lot of people who are in this room, for example, now listening, is the authenticity. And I think being authentic is something that's harder to find these days. So when you were on Piers, and whenever you've been doing whatever you do, the authenticity comes through. The realness comes through. And I think that's important. Before you went into that first interview with Piers, and then obviously the second one, how well prepared were you with that first one? Did you go into it like, because obviously you went in with jokes somewhat, which weren't, and when I remember watching that for the first time, I will never sit and watch one video straight. My attention span, couple of minutes max. I sat and watched that from start to finish. I sent that to so many people that I knew. Did you go in that well prepared, or did you think, let's just see what I come out with?
I prepared.
You prepared.
I'm a nerd. I'm a doctor, dude.
Yeah.
I prepare everything. I cannot take a chance. I cannot take a chance, especially if you're doing it English in your second language. I can't take it. I went in with, and the stakes were too high. I can go in and lose my career, and I can go in, mess it up and all of the Arabs will hate me. Either it was a lose-lose situation. You cannot. So I went in. I said, like, if I'm gonna go in, I'm have to go in with a big bang. I'm have to go make a big splash. So I prepared it. I prepared the jokes. I prepared all of the zingers. I did. It was not spontaneous, and I admit that. But I wanted to do that in order to make a huge splash, in order to force him to sit with me on face to face, because the second interview was actually my goal. I know that the first interview went more viral. I mean, but both of them were. I mean, one of them is like 11 million, and another 22 million. But the second interview for me is more important because I needed to sit down and explain. The second one was meant to be educational, so
Which it was.
I wanted to do that. So the first one I went in and it's like. I told him how much time I have. It's like 15, 20 minutes, and it went for 33 minutes. And that's why you see me when the earpiece was falling out. I was like fighting for ages. Like, okay, stop. Because at the end, because you don't see them, you listen to them in your ear, and you're scared to hear the words. All right, thank you, Bassem. And I wanted to kind of nail all of my points before it ends. I needed to do that till the end, until I get the chance to sit down face to face.
Yeah, I think after everybody watched that, I think we all felt the same with you. If we felt the same as what you were saying, we were like, thank you. That was it. It was just someone was able to articulate what we were trying to get out. And I think that was a really big, huge moment in the world. Like, for many of us, many of my mates in Australia that weren't understanding sort of what's going on, and many of my friends in England or America. So again, I think I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you, man. I mean, what I wanted to do with this is that the people in the West, they see us as angry Arab men. They're just like there's no reason for me to listen to them. So I went in with the idea of I'm gonna flip that, and I'm just gonna make fun of everything, and I'm gonna ridicule this establishment. I'm gonna ridicule everybody, everything that all of your talking points. I'm gonna take it, flip it, magnify it, and then see how you feel about it. So it was a strategy, and again, that show can go either ways. This could have been like a huge flop.
Yeah,
I'll never know.
This is Nala who's on the show with us.
Yes, I know, Nala. When I said Nala, it's like, why is she not on the show?
Yeah, so Nala...
I'm going to cry now.
That's okay. When things are going wrong in the world, like Nala is originally from Syria. Both Basma and Nala, who work on the show, they're in tears. They're crying every morning. We're doing an entertaining show, but they're feeling it because it's PTSD. It's traumatic. It's going back to what they grew up with. Is that right, Nala? Is that why? Yeah?
It's just, it's a lot of PTSD, I would say. And it's also the fact that like us Arabs never have a voice. And if we have a voice, we're looked at in a different way, in a negative way. So to see someone to come out of it and actually people start going like, oh, like you guys are funny, you guys are intelligent, you guys and stuff. So seeing someone talk about that, it just triggers.
It's okay, Nala. It's okay, Nala. Get it out, baby.
Yeah.
Get it out. Get it out. Cry it out. Cry it out.
That's enough crying for me.
I should have I should be paid more for for a side job as a shrink.
This is therapy, mate.
This
is therapy.
This
is therapy.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
But
Wait, Nala. Tell me about your childhood.
Childhood?
Yeah.
Mine was great. Like I lived in.
No, not traumatic enough.
Next.
We need. All right.
No,
tell me about your first heartbreak, baby.
You say it was great because you compare it to obviously people around you that have experienced it worse, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in Sydney in Australia. I had a great upbringing, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to that question. How was your upbringing? And let's talk about obviously the part where you had to leave.
Yeah, we had a great life. We were enjoying it, but unfortunately, because of the war that happened, we lived there for 2 years, which is the reason I have so much PTSD. And that's the moment where I realized that us Arabs are hated, because we lived in a bubble where we didn't see that. Until that exploded, I started realizing people's point of view, how they see us, how they perceive us. So after I left, it was just such a struggle with it. And like when I know people are going through that as well, and we finally get a voice where people actually listen to, like I know you don't like being the voice, quote unquote, and it's not technically like, it's just people listened. whether it is you, because us Arabs, we joke around about everything that goes on in our life, we just make a joke out of it. So someone who actually listened to that, to me, that was very important.
Well, I appreciate that يا نالا والله وخلاص بقى enough crying بقى enough crying بقى خلاص يا نالا بقى and you're wearing like a necklace called عشق
يا
أختي عشق
خلاص
يا أختي خلاص بقى okay يلا all right you can pay my payment as your shrink on the way out. These are services that I also provide.
But it's, I mean, but Bassem, that's what it was about. I mean, obviously, you know, it really hit home for so many people, and I think that was the most important thing there, that it just went from being an Arab thing to a global thing.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you being here, man. And you know, the likes of Nala and Basma, who, you know, we work with every single day. We see it firsthand. My parents grew up in Lebanon. They had to leave, migrate during the war because of what happened. They went to Sydney. They left.
So you went to Sydney. Did you grow up in Greenacre?
Very.
The people tell me Greenacre. I was like, what does that mean? And then I see also just like Green Acre. Why do you have Greenacre? And this is the thing about Australian accent. I went there. I was like, guys. I mean, I landed in the airport in Sydney, and I heard something that sounded like English, but it wasn't English. I mean, I feel that the Australian accent is like it sounds like a depressed koala bear going through labor. I mean, it's like it is terrible.
Very nasally.
And the Arabs there are so like. I mean, you meet Arabs in America, you meet Arabs in Europe, right? But the Arabs in Australia have the thickest Australian accent. Like people,
they talk like this.
I like, hey, like my name is Abdullah. What? The name doesn't go with the sound. That's why for 8 years I heard Kris. I never thought he's brown. I was like, he is like a white Australian douchebag. Yeah. And I said like, and then I met him today. I was like, why is Kris Fade sending me his driver? And I was like, why is this driver doing the show? I never thought you were an Arab.
Well, I'm an Arab. I'm an Arab.
Yeah, with that accent, you're not.
I will bring it down.
Bring it down. Sounded a little bit. I met him. I told him, listen, I went to every show that I opened in Sydney. I said like, I went to Greenacre. So everybody went, yeah. And I said like, I went there. And then when you went to Greenacre, people was like, it's the Lebanese Quarter. So when you hear Lebanese quarters, you said, all right, party people. I went there, not that kind of people. People told me, I told them like, where is Greenacre? It's like in Western Sydney. It's like, no, Habibi, this is Southern Lebanon. This is Southern Lebanon. I said like, I went there. It's like 15 mana-ish place, 25 man-usha, shawarma places, 500 hijabi places, and for some reason, acai. Acai is everywhere. I said, what is the whitest thing ever? It's like acai ever. It's like, why? You were very consistent and you lost me at acai. And then every time, look, you know, they call you like Lebos, and everybody there is a Habib. It's like a Habib. So like they come to my show and they all these like big beards, and it's like oh Habib, and it's like, what do you do for work? It's like, oh, let me guess, construction. Okay, what do you construct? Let me guess, tunnels.
Oh my gosh! He's worked us out. He's worked it out.
People in Sydney were going crazy with the show.
I want to let me bring it back here because I want to just talk about that. Growing up in Sydney for me.
Yeah.
You met us Lebanese.
Yeah.
You met us.
The Lebos. Because they're in Egypt called Jippos.
Jippos.
Yeah, Jippos and Lepos riding on hippos. Walking around town like a couple of sickos. Yes.
You've picked up very quickly.
I did. That's what I do when I go to a new city. I said like, I try to find like, okay, what is the nuances? How can I make fun of that? And people just love it because they feel seen.
Yeah, it's so true. Like what you just hit home for me. Like I grew up with Egyptians as well. My friends Nagi, Murtavat were the parents, Mark, Andrew Saad. Yeah. I grew up around Egyptians and Lebos and Arabs. But being Lebanese in Australia wasn't a great thing. It's one of the reasons why I moved to Dubai. I was working on radio there. And as you said, I sound like a white Australian.
Yeah.
But then when they would see me, if I was to go for another job, I wouldn't get it. And it took me a while to realize, and some people think, oh no, you're looking way too hard into it. Australia's changed over the years, thankfully. This was 16 years ago. But I was getting blocked because of the Lebanese side of me, because we have got a stereotypical of being the drug dealers, the guys that you got to look out for, and we had it. So again, moving over here and now embracing what I have, and I had to change my name. My real name is Kristen George Fahad. I had to change it to Kris Fade on the radio to make it.
But like, I mean, Fade is really like...
I don't mind it now.
I like the
I
Fade.
like
It's
it.
like Kris Fade.
Yeah.
He just fades. He's there, and then he's not.
And then I'm not. But like my first radio name that the radio station gave me in Australia was Habib.
Oh my God, you're called DJ Habib. DJ Habib.
Street Kid Habib. Well, that's what they gave me.
True story.
And initially I embraced it all, but then I realized, hold on a second, I'm being the stereotypical Habib.
That is
you know
so
what I mean?
funny. Oh my God.
So to go back to what you have done over the last few months, you have, as Nala stated, you've brought it to the world. And I think that's a really, really beautiful thing. And so that's why we want to say thank you. Bassem Youssef, hanging out with us. Virgin Radio. Give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to learn Arabic. Okay? I'm glad you
What?
love
You
it.
mean Egyptian?
Just Arabic in general, right?
Right.
Arabic as an education, because he's
I'm horrible.
sorry, I am.
I'm horrible.
I know.
I'm horrible at it. My mum tells me...
First of all, you need to lose the rings.
Why? It's out.
Because
What about this one?
I don't know, man. You look like a drug dealer from Colombia. It's like this is
I wanted to be...
I know that this is the Cartel FM.
That's his new nickname now. Escobar. Love it.
I love it. I'll take the cartel part. I have been trying to speak Arabic with Basma and Nala, who they speak fluent Arabic. Over the year, I said to them, guys, just talk to me only in Arabic. أنا بفهم شوي عربي, but when I do speak it, my mum tells me to sit buzak.
She says,
No.
yeah.
So what we want to do right now is this.
Talk like an Egyptian. Talk like an Egyptian. You're Lavasha.
Like, why when you say talk like an Egyptian, suddenly it's always like as if like I'm a taxi driver or like a guy that like rents the camel at the talk like an Egyptian, give me bakshish. You know, there's some guy. What? I think like Arabs are the most racist against other Arabs.
I love that.
But what I've learned over the years is they asked me to host a TV show here many years ago, but it was in Arabic. And I said to them, I've got no Arabic in me. I can't do it. They said, come and audition. So I sat down, I did the audition. I said 3 words, and they said, that's it. I said, that's it. They gave me some Arabic classes to do. They said, khalas, try to learn it. About 4 weeks into it, I gave up.
Yeah.
I said, there's zero chance that I can, what you're saying is be on the TV with with my personality speaking another language. I couldn't do it, right? Then I found out there's kifak, kifik, everything's different.
Right.
And then someone told me Egyptian movies is the way that everybody within the region understands. They all understand that.
Yeah, it's kind of like the common white language for entertainment, because for years they've listened to English songs, Arabic, Egyptian songs. They watched Egyptian movies.
Yeah. So
it's common. So that's why, like, even when you say like, kifak, that's not even Egyptian.
So how do you say it?
Zayak.
Zayak, that's right.
Zayak.
So what I want you to do right now is give me some basic Egyptian phrases that I can take on, and I'll take with me for the rest of my life.
All right.
Bassam, please say something like, get him saying something like Chris is an idiot or something.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that. I'm a doctor.
All right.
I'm trustworthy.
Okay.
And I say that so you can trust me, then I would betray that trust.
Is that why you stopped?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Give me a line.
You want me to make up the line?
Give me something that I'm going to have to repeat.
Oh, okay.
But make it like I want like Egyptian, you know, like I want to be like when I'm there, they know like, oh, this guy could be from Egypt.
Yeah, because you have no clue.
Zero.
You won't be able to understand, right?
And I'm going to try not to make it sound like an Australian.
Okay. All right. Here's like a phrase that like أنا مش طايق نفسي. I can't even stand myself. It's like you're so fed up. Like I'm fed up. I'm مش طايق نفسي. مش طايق, which like طايق is like having the energy to or the tolerance to do anything. أنا مش طايق. Like I have no patience. I have no tolerance. So أنا مش طايق. أنا مش طايق and then anything else. أنا مش طايق نفسي. That's myself. أنا مش طايقك. Like you.
Okay.
أنا مش طايق.
I got it.
أنا مش طايق نفسي.
Okay. أنا مش طايق Rossi.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
أنا مش طايقه. أنا مش طايقه.
أنا مش طايقه.
Yes. أنا مش طايقه.
أنا مش طايقه.
Yeah, بالضبط. Yeah.
Do I say Rossi?
Yeah. Well, we know it's him. But like I said, like, dude, أنا مش طايق نفسي is actually like yeah. It's like أنا مش طايق نفسي. Like that's so Egyptian. It's like that's.
أنا مش طايق
نفسي.
What's the nafsi?
It's like myself.
أنا مش طايق نفسي.
Yes.
Okay, do I do
Approve.
it? Is that approved?
Yeah.
That's one.
أنا مش طايق نفسي.
All
Okay.
right, now just give me one more. Oh, this is
Give
one.
me a context. Give me like
Okay.
yeah. Give me something like.
Now I am happily married, but I
Okay.
want to help other men who may be trying to find a future wife who are single. Maybe they're Egyptian. How do I impress a woman when I was to first see her? Right?
Okay.
So I've just maybe we're at the airport. I see a beautiful girl, or I'm like, I need to start a conversation.
You go up to her, and like with your side look and say, "How you doing?"
Yes.
How you doing?
How you do? Like Joe in Friends. How you doing?
So
That's not the ships. No.
It would work. It would work. It's an international language. There, it's
yeah,
international language.
No, I mean, like, here's the thing. I mean, I'm never in. I'm not good with the game of like, I don't want to say pick up women, but
Yeah, because
it's just like
They come on to you basically.
well, look, have you seen his eyes? He doesn't need to have the game.
Look at them. Look at them.
no. It's just okay. Let's have some help here. How can you impress a woman? So you know what you say? It's like, hello, hi, and it's me, Kris Fade. And it's me, Kris Fade.
So Ana Ismi that's in Egyptian. That's the same.
Ana Ismi,
Ana Ismi. So Ana Ismi, Kris Fade.
Ana Ismi, Kris Fade.
And Ana Behibbak.
And you say that for a woman like first time, she's gonna walk away. She's gonna report you.
What does it mean?
بحبك? Come on, dude. You've been here and you don't even know أنا بحبك.
Only since 2008.
He's British. They don't.
2008 and you don't know أنا بحبك.
Yeah. Bassem.
What have you been living in a bubble in Namus? What is this?
Is it a chicken shop from Saudi Arabia?
That's about Al-Bek.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm getting mixed up.
Okay. I'll tell you. Like it's okay. It's a very cheesy pickup line, and it's actually like a line in a movie.
Okay.
And you tell her, عينيكي فيها حزن كبير.
Oh my gosh.
أو عينيكي فيها حزن كتير. أو عينيكي فيها حزن. No, عينيكي فيها حزن, which means like your eyes is full of sadness.
Aniki.
عينيكي فيها.
Okay. Aniki فيها.
No, not say E. عينيكي فيها حزن. بس.
Aniki Fiz.
Oh my God, he's awful.
We'll
He's
leave
so
it there.
bad.
I cannot. Let's just say I cannot speak like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
Bassem Youssef.
Talk like an Egyptian. You're La Basha.
Locally, I know that you're doing a lot internationally. Anything coming up in the next few months?
So I've been touring for the past month. I did Australia, and then after Australia, I did Bahrain in Arabic, Abu Dhabi in Arabic, and I actually might come back in May on a double bill with Maz Jobrani to do a couple of arenas around the Gulf, like around the Gulf area.
That'd be beautiful. You two together would be magic.
And on April, I'm doing like a European tour, and we just announced I'm gonna be 6th of April in London.
Wow,
Nice.
look at you,
That's in
man.
English, yeah.
What's this stuff about COP28? Were you a speaker?
Oh yeah. So I hosted the philanthropy dinner for 700 CEOs, and I was supposed to MC it, and I kind of turned it into like a Ricky Gervais Golden Globe roast. I roasted everybody. Like, you know, it's like, this is amazing, bringing all of these 700 CEOs. I wondered how big is the footprint? That's not a footprint. That's a foot kick. We're kicking the planet in the balls. And
Will they invite you back?
oh, they loved it. They loved it because when I roast people, I roast it in good faith. I make them in on the joke. I don't just like make people like feel bad. And then they invited me to speak for the general public in Green Zone. I said it, so I went there. There was like 800 people, and basically I opened my speeches like, "Hi everybody. I mean, I'm here. I don't know why I'm here. I'm speaking to COP28. There's like 1 million people who are more qualified than me to take the stage and talk about the climate in COP28. But let's face it." The only reason I'm here is that I'm trending. I'm just like the hottest piece of ass out there. and there's absolutely no value of bringing me here other than bring people. So I'm fully aware that I'm just full of shit.
Stop that, Bassem. You are not. You are wanted, and we love you. Again, thank you for hanging out with us. He's an unbelievable human. What you may have seen on the YouTubes or social media, what you have seen in real life is what we've witnessed in real life here with you has been tremendous. And the way that I want to close this out right now, and we've touched about it throughout the interview, but there is a piece of audio that you put out in the last few days, in the last 24 hours. And I just want to play this audio for everybody right now. It was filmed, most of this, and from in Sydney, the footage, in Australia.
This was between Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne. And I'm just going to give some context for this. Is that I was supposed to go there for only 2 shows. In one show in Sydney, 1,500 people, and one show in Melbourne, 800 seats. And after the second Piers Morgan show, after the first Piers Morgan show, the theater in Melbourne canceled on me because it was government owned, and they didn't like to be involved in politics.
Oh wow!
So they went on another another theater in Melbourne. Instead of 2,700 seats.
Sold out quickly.
Sold out twice.
Yeah.
Went to Brisbane, added Brisbane, sold out twice. Sold Sydney 4 times and added the Opera House, and then we sold the Opera House in 5 days. The capacity of the Opera House is 1,900 seats. They added extra seats, became 2,200 people. And so in my last show in Melbourne, I was speaking about how important it is that as Arabs to be seen as humans, and that the numbers that they come out in the streets and come out in those seats mean something, not just like numbers being killed on television. And I think this is the whole thing about the soft power that I advocated. I mean, it's not about like going on television shows and shouting and just pick up fights. People need to understand our weight as Arabs. You know, Arabs, and you've seen like they many of them are not involved. They don't go out, and people always, we have never seen that many Arabs. We didn't know that many of you exist. And not just like many of you exist, like not like the same way that they treated you in Sydney, you know, but when they see you as a purchasing power, the perception changes. They respect, and they want to make sure that they don't cross you, because this is what they understand: money, capitalism, right?
Yep.
So as long as they see us as lesser, they're not gonna respect us or worry or even care about what we think as Arabs. But when they say, oh, they buy tickets, they fill our theaters, they give us money. Unfortunately, this is the way it is. You know,
it's the truth.
Yeah, it is the truth. So when I tell them, when you show up in numbers, in masses to support our artists, now they have to listen to us. So these numbers now mean something, not just numbers of people being killed in the streets. That's it. So that is basically that was my message, and I was very, very proud actually, showing up and having all of these people coming to the show, because that was like a show of power, of force.
Well, as proud as you are of them, I think they're times 10 proud of you. Unbelievable. Again, I'm grateful that you were a heart surgeon, but I'm so glad that you stopped.
Oh, me too. I mean, like seriously, I think the decision of me stopping, just giving up medicine, I think I have saved so many lives.
But hold on. You never know.
Let me put it in a different way. Because I'm not a doctor anymore, many more patients are alive today. You see, that's a better punchline. I just edited it.
Can you look at someone?
Punchline. What?
Can you look at someone and see if they're going to die from heart problems?
No, I can look at someone and I see that they die because they're.
that type of comedy though, that you like, that line that you just fed to me then, now I understand when Piers was doing that first interview with you, It is. It's not uncomfortable, but it's like, how do I react to this? And I think that was brilliant, so smart, so witty. The way that you did that, I think that interview will be like, I believe it's a pivot point. I believe there's certain pivot points that happen in media across the world every year. That is one. That is a pillar that will always stand there. Bassem Youssef, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me! Yeah! The Kris Fade Show, who's not actually Australian, who's not actually white, he's actually Lebanese.
Virgin Radio